Gustav Klimt was born in Baumgarten, Vienna on July 14, 1862, to Anna Klimt and Ernst Klimt. He attended the Vienna School of Arts and Crafts until 1883. There he studied architectural paintings, which would give him a solid foundation for his future art career. From there he went on to paint murals and buildings, such as buildings on Ring Road in Vienna. In 1892 he started to take up financial responsibilities for the family after the death of his father and oldest brother. During the financial peak of Klimt's life he included gold within many of his pieces. These included the Pallas Athene, Judith I, the portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer, and the Kiss. In 1894, Klimt made three of the most controversial pieces of that time period. He was commissioned to paint the ceiling of the Great Hall of the University of Vienna. For this project, he created the philosophy, the medicine, the jurisprudence, which were criticized by the public. These works were considered pornography and infuriated the University of Vienna. Due to the criticism he received from these pieces, he went into hiding in 1901. The Bloch-Bauer family helped Klimt through this hard time in his life by commissioning portraits for him to paint. Two of those portraits were the Woman in Gold and the portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl. These paintings were nothing like his previous works that he received criticism on. The portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl symbolized a new start and a positive light in his works. His portraits were praised and kept safe during World War II because of the style of work he created. It is important that Klimt's works be cherished and taken care of because of the cultural meaning they have for Austria. Klimt passed away on February 6, 1918, leaving the portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl unfinished. The commissioner, Ferdinand Bloch-Bauer, took the piece and hung it over his bed until SS officer Dr. Erich Feuer took it in 1938. Nazi officers loved Klimt's newer work because of the subject of the portraits, but destroyed his older work, calling it degenerate art. When looking at some of Klimt's portraits, it is hard to see the difference from his earlier work. This makes us wonder why some of his works were cherished and others were not. Maybe it had something to do with the people in the portraits, like the Nazi soldiers wanted the pieces for the gorgeous girls being depicted. Amalie zuckerkandl was in her late 30s when the portrait was created. She was a friend of Theresa Bloch-Bauer, which led to her sitting for Klimt. Amalie was a Nazi victim who converted to Judaism to marry Otto zuckerkandl. Amalie and Otto zuckerkandl were divorced after World War I, and during World War II she was exported to Belzec extermination camp where she was killed. No one knows where the portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl was stored during the beginning of World War II, but it ended up on a protection order in 1938. During World War II, Nazi soldiers would loot and buy pieces of art for less than they were worth. Due to the lack of records, pieces often went missing and still not have been found today. There is a theory that Amalie zuckerkandl's son-in-law came into possession of the piece. After finding the piece, it is said that he sold it to Vita Künstler. Vita Künstler was a former owner of the Viennese Neue Gallery and held the piece there until he donated it to the Austrian Gallery in 1988. The way this piece moved from gallery to gallery allowed it to get exposure on a national level. The more people that saw the piece, the more influential and important it got. Now the portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl holds meaning to a number of different cultures, such as the Austrians as well as the Jewish culture within Vienna. The Austrian gallery loaned the piece to the London gallery, despite the zuckerkandl heirs wanting the piece back in their hands. It is important that the piece gets back to the heirs because of the cultural and emotional connections they have with Klimt's work. The portrait of Amalie zuckerkandl is an icon from the Zuckerkandl family of what life was like before the war. It is essential that people realize and care about what art ends up and how it is affecting the people that hold it close to their hearts. A lawsuit is currently going to get the portrait back to the heirs who deserve it.